Howdy and welcome to the Mighty Muddy Chuck channel. I be Chuck. So this is where I've been using AI graphics. I love AI graphics. And it's amazing what, you put a concept in the prompt and what they will come up with. Um, this is where I've been trying to promote my Chuck's Erotic Stories, Monsters and Other Scary Lovers. And it contains strong sexual content. And it also contains horror, It contains horror. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but if you're not easily offended, if you tend to like erotica, if you tend to like horror stories, and you don't really mind errors in writing, because what I write is not plastic. In other words, it's not going to be perfect. My writing looks kind of like this dude in this picture. There's errors, and I switch between tenses. I do that, and you know what? I like doing that. I can't, and I wish more writers would do that, because there's nothing more boring than if a writer stays in past tense and they don't really get into it, and the past tense is part of their problem, whether they realize it or not. That their writing would have a much better flow if at least temporarily they would switch to present tense. Yeah, it might throw the reader off, but do we really write for the reader? Or do we write for ourselves? No, I went back over and I looked at some of the stories and all, and no, I wrote this back in I think it was 2011. That's when we had the tornado, and I was kind of in a funk there. Although I didn't know how much worse my life was going to get. Um, Now there's something happening with one of our neighbors, and I'm not even sure what the heck's going on there. I was so preoccupied with my problems, I wasn't paying attention, to what was going on there. And I don't know. Probably, I hope it's nothing major, but I kind of afraid that it is, because the last time that I talked to him, his sugar had been getting sky high. And when I'm talking about sky high, I don't mean like 150, 200, or even 300, which is bad. I mean sky high, and he was having to take insulin several times a day, which that's actually the better way to manage it, is to take the insulin more than once a day. But I don't know. And I don't know. I know something's going on over there, but I don't know what. And I'm a nosy person, but I don't want to be intrusive. I'm nosy. Now my granny, she's the one that was a total Jewish princess. Now this goes back to when there were party line telephones. Oh, she loved the party line telephone. Oh man, she didn't mind being nosy. She didn't mind it one bit. It was kind of like a joke, but she was. I loved her. Don't misunderstand, but she was something of a character. Nah, I'm something of a character too. So I'm definitely not normal. But I don't know. I One of the other neighbors, I've started to ask them, what they knew about, but they got their own problems. I don't want to go into it online, obviously, because nobody ever share anything with me again if I start talking about it on video. Uh, but they got their own problems, and I don't want to. And they weren't really friendly with these other neighbors. They weren't really friendly. Um, they didn't get along that well. Um, I try to get along with. I'm the kind of person that I, from my perspective, I get along with everybody. It's everybody doesn't necessarily like me. I don't have problems with people. I'm the kind of person that can accidentally say stuff, that's hurtful and not even mean it. It's just something pops in my head. I say it. It's there. Um, and some people take it to heart. And that's one thing that's wrong with our society now is people take too much to heart. Well, I think a lot of people, they say stuff off the top of their head that they don't even really think about. It's just there. They say it. I don't think about what it might sound like to the other person. And maybe we should, consider what we're saying before we say it. Say it, obviously. And when I was younger, I did. I was more of an introvert And I was more careful with my words, and I barely ever spoke. Because if I said what was on my mind, oh my God, man. I would start a war everywhere I go. There's on the DVR. We don't have DirecTV or Dish anymore, but the DVR is still. We still have some shows that's on the DVR from when we did have it. And one of them is a partial. Is partial. It's not a full show, but it's just a partial from Gunsmoke, and it's called Dodie. I don't know whether you ever saw it. It has the actress in it that was in The Real McCoys. This goes way back, with Walter. Was it Walter Brennan? The one that always walked with a limp, and he was one of those characters when I'd watch. I didn't really care what I was watching so much. He just gave me a warm feeling, That sounds weird, doesn't it? And this actress that plays Dodie, she has that same. You watch her and you just have a warm feeling. Somehow she manages to project that warm feeling that you get from her. And I guess a lot of successful actors and actresses tend to have that that is not they're beautiful or handsome or or hung like a horse or anything or big, big jugs. Of course, she's attractive, and I think with Walter Brennan? Walter Brenner? I'm not sure what it is. I may even be saying his name totally wrong. But I think in part that was because he reminded me of my grandfather. And of course that automatically, gives you that warm feeling. Unless, your grandfather's axe murderer. Probably not so much. My grandfather was, a good guy. I was lucky, with the people that brought me into this world. But the grandfather I'm talking about actually died when I was 5, or I was turning 5, I think. And he was buried on my birthday. And then when my mother died, she died right at my birthday. And if we had, if we had said it, she would have been buried on my birthday. But they didn't do that because of me. And both of them died around the age that I'm at now, and I take after that particular grandfather. There's a young picture of him, and at that age and my age at that same time, we could pass as twins practically. So yeah, I definitely take after him, and I'm still here though. I don't know how the heck I'm still here. It's a baffling mystery. So anyway, I've been trying to promote, this book, Chuck's Erotic Stories, Monsters and Other Scary Lovers. And again, it's adult content. It's erotica. And I've been playing with AI, and now these pictures are not in the book, to be very clear. These are pictures I did after the book was published. The book was published back in 2011. This one is. These are pictures I posted on Twitter, which that really doesn't get me much, productive traffic. But anyway, the excerpt that I take from the book for this picture is: I scream, I don't want to die. As I jump through the kitchen window and roll over the sink, I keep screaming, help me, help me, help me. I don't want to die. Tears are streaming down my face, but that wet spot in my pants isn't from my tears. I stand crying, look at Rock, and he looks at me. Rock grabs hold of his, I don't want to set this to adult. What the hell are you doing? Have you lost your mind? So, yeah. That's one of the promotional pictures. I'm afraid to go to the page that I've got, because I've got one that shows the woman's breast, and I don't think I can get by with putting that on. I don't know whether I could put it on YouTube or not. I don't know. But anyway. Anyway. Okay, here's an article that I wrote this morning. I spent about 2 hours on this article, and there again, I was playing with the AI graphic generation. This is supposed to be a swarm of drones right here, and this is the master here that's connected to the satellite that directs the drones. And This is a woman with a drone over her head. And this is the article I wrote. Amazon announced that it will invest up to $4 billion into Anthropic, the AI startup best known for its Claude chatbox and founded by siblings Dario and Daniela Amoti, who used to work for OpenAI. This deal is on the cheap in comparison to the reported $13 billion that Microsoft has also invested into OpenAI, the biggest name in generative AI technology right now. But that partnership has been growing since 2019, been going strong since 2019. Regardless, the deal shows that Amazon's trying to participate in the AI games. When publishing an ebook in KDP, you now have to tell Amazon if you used AI to generate graphics or text, and you have to tell them what AI tools that you used. and nobody knows for sure exactly how they're going to use that information. I don't use the AI to write the books. I might use it for kind of an outline or something like that to kind of give me some ideas. But no, everything I write is me. It's me. It's me, man. It's my heart on a platter. Okay, and then I give the definition of AI. The definition of AI is the ability of a computer or a robot controlled by a computer to do tasks that are usually done by humans because they require human intelligence and discernment. I would sort of add that it's basically add that it's a bot program. You know, they kind of exaggerate it a little bit right at this point, with the ability to program itself or learn. To exactly how advanced that is, I'm not really sure. There's actually a conspiracy theory out there that says that the theory is that Bitcoin was programmed by the CIA using AI, artificial intelligence. So, how advanced is it really? I'm not totally sure. It's probably more advanced than I would like. Although I totally enjoy playing with the graphics, and I like on this website on Sayada.net. A reminder: I sold Sayada.com. I still own Sayada.net. Sayada.com, I sold it. I don't own it anymore. But I do ask it questions, and then I'll use those sometimes in the articles. Not in this article, but in some articles, I'll use the AI a little bit to not for anything I charge for money, like the ebooks or anything like that. I don't use it I don't use the text part for that. But like some of the articles, kind of like when you're using a search engine. You're searching for data to try to back up with what you're saying. What is human intelligence? It's a mental quality that consists of abilities to learn from experience, adapt to new situations, understand and handle abstract concepts, and use knowledge to manipulate one's environment. To what degree can a computer program mimic human intelligence? That's an open question, man. That's an open question. How advanced is it? Is it just a little more than a bot? Which some of them actually are. But is that just to fool you off? Is there really something a lot more going on there than graphics and text? Is there more going on? Those drones in the sky that's violating the space treaty. Being controlled by satellites and computers on the ground and AI maybe. AI. We don't know. Okay, Anthropic's Claude and Claude 2 large language model-based chatbots are similar to OpenAI's ChatGPT, which, by the way, that's where these two people come from that founded Anthropic. They come from OpenAI. Okay, let me read that again. Anthropic's Claude and Claude 2 large language model-based chatbots are similar to OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Bard in that they can translate text, write code, and answer various questions. But Anthropic says its model is safer and more reliable because it's guided by a set of principles. And that set me off. That set me off big time. Principles? Oh my God. So I continue. Well, reading that pisses me off. I was doing images on Bing's chatbot AI, and for some reason, it threatened to ban me. That really happened. It wasn't like I was putting anything weird in the prompt. What was weird was them threatening to ban me over what I put in the prompt. I put Southern Belle. That was one of the terms I put in the prompt. And in that same prompt, there was monster, but I wasn't calling a Southern Belle a monster. I basically was saying that a monster was attacking a Southern Belle or something like that. It should not have triggered a threat. And I point out in this article, when I want to do, sexy pictures, I go to an AI that allows that. Bing doesn't allow that. And there's a few other of the mainstream ones that don't allow that. I don't do that on Bing, and I was not breaking any rules. But hell, I think this is me reading from the article that I wrote. But hell, I think if the AI had been on a helicopter with me and I had farted, it would have thrown me out of the helicopter. Asshole. Set of principles. What does that mean? Set of principles is, Anthropics people, as I say, they're going to have their chatbot operate on a set of principles, and that set me off, like I said. What does that mean? Censorship? Turning logic upside down like social media has been doing by calling hate love and calling debate hate? Hate is not calling someone a poopy head when they're pissing you off. Hate is that someone throwing you out of a helicopter when you're pissing them off. Hate is actually hurting someone by doing harm to them, such as kicking them off of social media, giving them a low social credit score, telling them they can no longer make money on YouTube, getting them fired from their job, and doing actual harm to someone. That's hate. That's real hate. Calling someone a poopy head, that's not hate. That may be a term of endearment. The N-word could be a term of endearment. But see, AI is not smart enough to tell the difference because AI doesn't have emotions. And you know what? These people that run these so-called social platforms, you look at Zuckerberg. You look at them, you look into their eyes, their cold eyes staring back. They're blank look. They're blank look. Do they understand the difference? And the experience is showing that they don't. They don't have a soul. They don't know that they don't have emotion. They're kind of cold-blooded. They don't know the difference. They don't know the difference between hate and terms of endearment. They don't know that when a wife is cussing her husband out, she may actually want to get him to the bed and ride him so hard that he has a heart attack. They don't know that. Okay, where did I leave off this? Hate is actually hurting someone by doing harm to them, such as kicking them off of social media, giving them a low social credit score, telling them they can no longer make money on YouTube, getting them fired from their job, and doing actual harm to someone. Make no mistake, the haters are not the people who use the N-word. The haters are the people who want to kill you and your family because you use the N-word. Get it? Understand? You using the N-word, yeah, it's kind of crude, it's rude, it ain't proper. You shouldn't do it. But it shouldn't get a drone being flown up your ass to kill you or destroy you by that passive-aggressive thing that social media is currently doing. And how long before that social media passive-aggressive thing of trying to destroy people, like getting them kicked off YouTube, demonetizing them, suppressing their content, doing everything to basically destroy them while they build other pieces of crap up? How long before that does turn into a drone being flown up your behind? Repeatedly. It won't be pleasant. Now understand, these upside-down crazy people who don't even understand the concept, this is me back reading from the article. Now understand, these upside-down crazy people who don't even understand the concept of true hate are the ones programming AI. Hate is, I got a damn hair in my mouth. I haven't been doing anything kinky. I don't know where that hair comes from. Hate is Burger King trying to force okay, I can't say that on YouTube, I don't think, to muzzle you because it took some woman 10 years to wipe the smile off her face to accuse you of some drunken sex shit that neither of you probably even remember clearly, except the smile, of course. There's a reason that Harlan Ellison, James Cameron, and Galen Hurd, Harlan Ellison, he wrote some of the stuff that the Terminator movies actually give him credit. I'm not sure they were willing to give him credit or whether he forced them to give him credit, but he's given credit for a part of the Terminator story. So anyway, there's a reason that Harlan Ellison, James Cameron, and Galen Hurd or whoever you want to give the most of the credit for the Terminator movies with, came up with the idea of Skynet. A lot of times when you're writing, you go into what I call a channeling state, where you start picking up ideas from the metaphysical world, whether it's from an angel, a demon, a ghost, or maybe just a computer program that has our souls trapped in it. If you're a writer, I'm sure you've gone into that mode. If you're honest, it's almost like somebody's writing through you. And unfortunately, the person that writes through me, they have terrible grammar, and they they switch between past and present tense without rhyme or reason. But I love them. I love what they write. Okay. And the idea that AI might be dangerous predates when people could so clearly see how insane the people running parts of the computer industry, the social media, and the not so social media are. They're crazy. They're crazy. They're crazy. Okay, in the movie, what was Skynet? Skynet was a fictional artificial neural network-based conscious group mind and artificial general super intelligence system that served as the antagonistic force of the Terminator franchise. That's a hell of a half of a sentence. I kind of copied and pasted that, by the way. Okay. In the real world, what is Skynet? Skynet is a program by the U.S. National Security Agency that performs machine learning analysis on communication data to extract information about possible terror suspects. They actually spy on everybody. I know, Google. Conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory. Butthole. Now, this is loosely defining Skynet. In other words, I wouldn't say the people working at this National Security Agency actually perpetrated this directly, but indirectly, maybe, perhaps. So I contend that Skynet, this is debatable. I want you to understand, Google aside, I don't care what Google says or YouTube says. This is debatable. The real Skynet has murdered, and I want to point out in more loosely defined terms, using operational drones in violation of the Space Treaty, 12,000 people, including 400 children that we know about. Now, these deaths are real. Don't misunderstand. To what degree you can blame this particular agency for directing those drones that kill those people? And that's not the way the government operates. They pass the buck. That's the reason the government's so large, is they've got to have this huge number of people they have to pass the buck to. They have to blame people. They have to blame so many different people and put some of this information and disinformation out there and switch those shells about so fast you don't know who's who and what's what and what's who is whatever who is doing. Who is whatever they're doing. And there's no estimate to the amount of economic damage that Skynet, loosely defined, has done to people who have used the N-word or broken some other unsocial social media rule. We know that some people who have been banned from making money online or otherwise have been given a gun to put in their mouth is because Skynet directly or indirectly coaxing unsocial social media to do its evil. In other words, Skynet in the background, and I'm loosely defining it. I'm not blaming this particular agency directly because, like I said, it's a lot of people involved. I mean, you could basically say that our government has become Skynet. It's fastly becoming Skynet. You can't point to one agency and say it's this, it's this, it's this. No, our whole government is becoming Skynet. Okay, so then anyway, I follow up and I say, to what degree is Microsoft, Google, and now Amazon helping the government with its Skynet operations? And that's another part of it. It's not just the government. It's also these mega corporations outside of government. They're all colluding together. They're all working together. And they're doing it through computer programming. They're doing it through the computers. They might, the way AI operates, they may not even know the degree that they're working with who and who and who and what and what and who and what and who and what outside entities actually in the system and calling the shots. They don't know. I don't know. So to what degree is Microsoft, Google, and now Amazon helping the government with the Skynet operations to destroy lives and perhaps even murder people? And then I end the article with saying, was the movie Terminator just a movie? Yeah, it's out there. I know. I kind of went overboard. But I need to get overboard. I need to go overboard. I need to stop being so bland. I need to get excited. But the thing is, when you get excited and you start talking about this kind of stuff, here comes AI and Google and boom, boom, boom. It's not a good situation. Your video may not get any views. It may even get banned. They may even decide to fly a drone up your butt because they just like your video so much. Chuck, I think you want a drone up your butt. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. I sometimes watch that group of people. I think they're outliers. I don't really know how much people know them outside the sphere. I just happened onto them when I was watching the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and Ethan Ralph was giving pretty good coverage over on Odyssey at the time, and so through him I started discovering these different people. Now, mind you, I'm not a hater. Don't jump down that that thing. I'm not a hater. I don't hate anybody unless you cross me, and then. No, I don't. I probably don't even. I tend to just ignore that. Even I don't want to invite that, obviously, but anyway. And one of the people through this, the 6 degrees of separation, is Michael Alberto, and him and Jimbo Zoomer, they kind of remind me of me when I was young because I was sickly, and. At times I was extremely skinny, and at times I was handsome, and at times I was just really ugly, because when you're underweight, you don't look good, and when you're overweight, you don't look good. It's that little small window when you actually, God, he's good looking, or God, she's good looking. It's a really small window there, and as you get older, it's hard to navigate that little bit. You gotta navigate to that pinhole to look good, and most of us fail. So anyway, Michael Alberto, he's been going up against what they call the commentary community. Is that what they call it? And he's been defending. He's got a girlfriend. He got a girlfriend, and that's a good thing, I guess. He's trying to go to bat for her. He's trying to defend her, and she got tied up in some kind of scandal, which I don't really fully get it. At some point, she and some other dude had been texting together. Now, this was before she had hooked up with Michael Alberto, and so anyway, she was trying to, like women tend to do, she was trying to disavow what she had done in the past because. I don't really get it. It's like that, that walk of shame, So that they don't want to blame their behavior. They want to blame the man's behavior. It's all the man's fault. He did it. Like, I have no sexual desire. I have none. My vagina is total sawdust. It's sawdust. I have no sexual desire. Only sluts have sexual desire. So anyway, women, they get horny, and then they're more likely to feel guilty about it, do that walk of shame bit than men are. That's kind of built into our society, and so that feeds into the Me Too movement, where women are trying to build or rebuild their reputation, and they try to do it by tearing men down. Now, I'm not saying that's what this case is. I don't know. Some cases are real. Let's be clear. Some cases the woman has suffered real abuse, and it's awful. I'm not defending that. But some cases, it's just, that walk of shame. The woman's trying to rebuild her reputation. She doesn't want to be thought of as a slut, which is a derogatory term. I mean, who would want to be thought of as a slut? I do. Chuck, you got to have sex sometime to be a slut. I write erotica. Does that count? But, so anyway, he was debating. What was the name of the guy who was debating? Lyrics, whatever lyrics. I think it's lyrics. I don't know. Real young looking dude, young looking. and he had somebody else on. I don't know who. And they both of them were attacking Alberto, and Alberto was trying to defend himself. Alberto is he's I think he's actually honest to a fault, and you'll notice that about some of these people that got tied in with this particular group of people. They're actually they're I don't think they're capable. If they lie, they're going to tell them themselves. They're going to tell them themselves, and I can kind of understand. I can kind of respect that, and to some degree, I don't like. It has to be a really difficult situation for me to lie. If it's if the alternative, is worse, you know. But I don't like it. I don't like lying. I don't like liars. And the thing about lying and liars is whoever's lying to you, on some level, they think you're an idiot. They think they can tell you anything and you're going to believe it. And it used to in high school. It was kind of like a game that we played at sometimes. Is we tell each other lies and see, is this true or a lie? And then it would always get away from us and say, you're an idiot for believing that. It always goes back to, you actually believe that? No, not really. but but no, I respect people that are honest. And so Alberto has trouble lying, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But and that call, he was, in the text messages, the the woman that was acting like she wanted to be dominated by this other guy, and Alberto was saying, "Well, that's not her. That's not the woman I know. She likes to do the dominating. She dominates me in bed." And then that lyrics or whatever his name is, he hopped on that, and so then it ended up where they were trying to say that Alberto likes to be pegged, back to the drone up the butt. And of course, no, no, no. But it amused me. I don't know why that stuff amuses me, but it does. I don't dislike any of the people. Don't misunderstand. I'm not going to dislike anybody, unless I get attacked, and then you have to be able to defend yourself. Like Alberto needs to be able to defend himself, and he's trying. He's trying to learn how to do it right. I was kind of amazed with my younger sister during we were having to deal with something, and now mind you, when she was young, really young, she had this real soft voice, and the people were not always nice to her because she was nice. She was nice, so they weren't. It was like when you're too nice, it's like an invitation for people to pick on you. And of course, my mother, she was like, with just a few words, she could bring someone to tears. She knew how to do it without slapping them, without kicking them in the balls or any of that stuff. Just with a few words, she knew their weak spots. She could size them up in just a few minutes, and she knew where to hit them, how to hit them hard with just the right word. So with words, she could have them in tears, and that's a good thing, especially when you're taking up for yourself and for other people that you love. You need to be able to do that. And see, and that's one thing that's bad about the social media, is the social media does not want people to be able to defend themselves. They do not want people to be able to use words to be able to defend themselves. They want to be able to attack, and the person be nice. Just stand there nice. But at some point, that nice person is going to start hitting back because they have to. They have no choice. So anyway, we was having to deal with something, and this woman, for some reason, she's going to give my sister a hard time. And this is the same sister that used to be, way too nice. And with just 2 or 3 words, she had that woman scampering back to the office and leaving her alone. I was like, that made me so proud. I was so proud of her. And I'm at a point where I used to get hit hard when I was younger, but I'm a mess right now. I'm still crying every day, which is awful. That doesn't speak well of me, obviously, but I'll tell you that I'm still crying every day. Much thanks for watching and listening. I do appreciate it. Thank you.